I can't say thank you enough for being here. It really is a beautiful opportunity to be able to share with y'all, and accepting my daughter, the other one who's off just doing whatever she's doing. She's Amelia, but Addison, thank you for welcoming her on the team. And I love seeing the young people serve, because I didn't understand what it meant to serve when I was her. Whenever I was y'all's age, how old are you now? 11. Yeah. When I was 13, we got to go to Mission Arlington in Texas to go serve, which meant Six Flags and a White Sox game. And so it just didn't really have the impact on me that I was anticipating that a mission trip would have. And so being able to be here, serving in another country, learning about another culture, really is exciting. And then to being able to hear about your church and the different connections and how we're all pulling together to come together and say, you know what, we're going to come together from different parts of our lives in different ways, and then come and serve. And just serve the greater good of the things that we have going on here. And we got to meet Grisseland some years ago back in 2019. And so it's really neat to be able to see people coming back and serving. Love to hear how God is moving and saying, hey, look, Maddie, maybe missions is for you in this season of your life. Maybe it's something else. It's just encouraging to be part of a growth in one way or another. And guess what? You may not believe this, but we're not the only ministry here in Honduras. And so being able to get involved and plugged into the different things in life, we're just grateful that you're here doing it with us. It is wonderful to see. Y'all get to have a wonderful time over at the ranch. And I want to just encourage you to help you understand a little bit deeper. And I've shared these little nuggets as we've had dinner and breakfast over the past few days. But the impact that y'all have with this little bag of rice, this little bag of beans, a 30-day supply of medicine, really has so much more impact than what you realize. And one of the things I really love is the water filter, because it lasts for 10 years. Is because these people don't have access to these kinds of resources on a regular basis. But y'all are here to open up the door for the church. And that's one of the things that is really neat. So what do I mean, Mac, whenever we say y'all are here to open up the doors of the church? Because the church should always be open, right? Yes, but people are not going to go into it. Why? Because maybe they were hurt, maybe they were damaged, maybe there was some conflict they had years ago. But we as North Americans, we represent the gringos of this world, the North American skin, the North American view, perception. It is what the Honduran people here see as hope. That's the reason you see so many people crossing over the borders, because it represents hope. I'm going to tell you a quick little story, and I didn't even get this, and I've been serving here since 2015, but it did not click until the pandemic. We were going door to door, just knocking on doors. We're full triage, mask, it was the worst. But we're knocking on doors, and we're saying, hey, we're here from the local church, do y'all need any medicine? Have y'all seen this really big church? When y'all look out the view here, it's a real big white Catholic church. In that neighborhood behind it is where we were. So we were partnering with one of our pastors, and we were knocking on doors and saying, hey, do you need some medicine? So this guy, with a little trepidation, opens up the door and he goes, what's up? And I'm like, hey, we're here from the church, do you want some medicine? Not the government, but from the church, because the government was going around saying, hey, are you here? Everybody gets 3 shots. And so I was like, oh my gosh, more vaccines. And so people were just kind of tired of getting shots, kids running away every time they see a doctor. And it's like, no, we're here from the church. We just want to bless you with some medicine. Can we give you medicine? He goes, no, I'm good. Out from the balcony stands a girl, a little bit older than him, pregnant. He said, ma'am, do you need any medicines, any prenatals? We have prenatals right here free. She's like, I need medicine. And so we said, is it okay if we do the medicine? We kind of recognized there was a little bit of a hot situation there. And we said, hey, can we help? And so she said, please, please. And so the guy said, sure, come on, and we'll pass out some medicine. And that's what they did, is they were able to sit there and just share and give some medicine. And we said, hey, is it okay if the pastor comes and just prays with you? Because that's our whole reason for being there, is to pray with people, right? Yes. And so the pastor comes up and prays with the family. And that was it. Nothing more than a prayer. Not one of these things of like, hey, look, you need to turn your life over to Jesus right now. We're going to baptize you in our little cup of water that we got. No, it was a, hey, we just want to pray with you. Can we do that? So the pastor goes up and prays and then walks away like, this, put it to see the face, which is pastor. And we said, what's going on? And they said, I have been knocking on this door for 5 years, and it would not open. You knock on it once as a North American, and you open that door. We have planted the seed. Okay. I'm sorry, I get glory bumps there every time I hear about that, because that's such an encouraging thing, such an exciting moment that we are here to open a door to someone's heart with something so little, but has so much impact. The medicine is gone in 30 days. The rice and beans gone after this week. But the hope that they get to hear about Jesus in their heart will be there so that we get to see them in another world, our eternity with heaven. That's what we're here for. That's the impact that we have. That's the vision that we have, is to impact these pastors. Many of these pastors are lay pastors. They don't have a great opportunity to be able to have income coming in. They don't have money coming in from the church. They're just called to love their people. So we get to help be an encouragement to them, to help be a pastor to them, to help bring in people from the U.S. Recently, we had got a phone call from someone that we buy our Bibles from, and he says, "Hey, we got a Honduran who's coming down and wants to spend a week with some pastors. Can you help me organize something?" We said, "Johnny, on the spot." Every single day for an entire week, this guy preached on how to use finances in a biblical way, from a book that he wrote. And we were able to bless every single person that came in here. More than 50 people every single day got a book, got some material, got some encouragement, had a good meal that day, and we got to send them on their way. Blessed, more encouraged. Tomorrow, we're going to see close to 400 pastors at the church that we, as our community, attend. And they're hosting a pastoral conference where 2 guys from the U.S. and 1 guy from Switzerland are here to help come pour into the people and the pastors. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to be right over at the church. I'm not going to be able to come have breakfast with y'all, but that's what I get to go do, is help be part of the production of that, to help encourage them. Why? Because that's what we need to do in this country where there aren't many resources. There aren't these great opportunities to be able to love on people. So we as a ministry at WGO get to pour into them in one way or another. Our kids that y'all got to go meet yesterday, I'm sure we all had a great time with that. The road is crazy. The campus is beautiful. It really is an encouragement to me, because that's where my wife and I got our start in doing missions, was on a mission trip, just like what y'all are doing here. And that's where God changed my heart, because I will assure you, I wanted nothing to do with missions. Being a missionary, I don't care. I don't want to do it. I was going to be a State Farm agent, have my name on the billboard, have some employees. I can come here as often as I needed to, because I'll have the funds to be able to do it, until God just slammed that door shut and says, "Son, I want you to go do something different. I want you to go serve." I said, "What, man? I want to go do that. That's not my life. I want to go do what I'm comfortable with doing." And then he just slammed that door in my face and said, "Matt, I want you to go serve my people." And it taught me how to put a trust in Jesus that I had never put before. Because I grew up in the Christian house group in the First Baptist Church. Loved it. Wonderful. But I didn't understand how to put trust into God until I picked up my family, sold everything that we had, and I moved here. Because I saw what WGO was doing. I saw the kids that were graduating this bilingual Christian education program with an opportunity and a hope that they will be able to take this and go into their own community and to be able to share. We have 2 girls that live right around the corner here that graduated from our children's program. They're still sisters. They aren't by blood sisters, but they're sisters because they grew up together. Both of them are serving in ministry. Another one is a Christian person who used to help run an at-risk girls' home, and she now works with the United Nations. Another one is working a really nice desk job over in a bank. And it's like, these are, all right, go ahead. I love it. It's so encouraging to see these people come from really low to no opportunities to be able to serve and go do more. That's encouraging to me. And there are some that have just fallen off the bandwagon. You know, and that's life. We all have our struggles, don't we? Yes. But to have our continued faith in Christ, to continue to lift them up, to continue to encourage them, even as they're gone from our program, is something that I enjoy being able to do. I still connect with a buddy of mine named Fabio, who called me up. He knows where every single ramen spot is in the city. He's like, which ramen place are we going to go to? He's like, Mac, I'm going to buy. Seriously? Like, I can help. I'll buy it. He goes, no, I want to buy it. Because I want to show you that I've made it. And he works managing people in the call center. It's like, go ahead. His English is better than mine. He scored like a 9.8 out of 10 on his English proficiency scale. And I'm like, that is so cool. I love it. That's the vision that I see that we do here. Go over to Belize. I don't have a huge video on Belize. I'm lacking in my material, but I'm going to get a cool video one of these days to be able to show it a little bit more. So I'm going to show y'all a video in just a minute. But I want to talk to you about what's going on in Belize, because when I moved here in 2015, we had just bought our little piece of land, and then this property right here is our mission center. And then we've got, I don't know, 6 buildings on there where people can go and stay and serve. And the stories that I get to hear of the impact, the kingdom impact of connecting with the battered men's and women's shelter. We get to go play basketball with them, go lift them up and encourage them. We may get to go help a pastor sell clothes. I literally had some extra clothes in my bag, which I didn't have very many of, and I was like, hey, let me help donate to this cause. Because I saw what the pastor was doing, and he had a little bazaar. I thought it was the neatest thing. We went to the town square, and we just sold clothes. The church brought in food, and then they just made what was $800 US. And this morning, and we just got to go hang out with them. But he went and took that money and put it right back into the church, and we get to go visit the church, and it was one of these little neat things. You had this little church. It was nothing more than probably 20-foot by 60-foot spot, and that's where they all served. I'm like, golly, that is tiny. But then you look at the walls around the old church, and it's like they have just quadrupled the size of this church because the pastor keeps pouring back into his people, and his people keep producing new fruit. It's like, that is so neat. Y'all may be familiar with this, but there's a color day or a fun day at your local school, and everybody wears uniforms here in Honduras, and especially over in Belize. And so for $1, you can wear your normal clothes, and that $1 goes into the school where they can buy whatever they need to. So we were partnering with this local school, and this story was really cool because we said we want to come and help build a construction. We have some young people coming in. Let's go build something. And so the schoolhouse said, okay, we want to build a second floor. We're capable and we're growing. We need to do that. And so the school ended up saying, instead of $1, we need you to bring in 1 cinder block so that we can help build the place. And then whenever that happened, the parents came in trucks full of cinder blocks because they saw how good this was going. So not only did we build the second floor inside of 2 days, we also built them a bathroom. And it's like, oh my gracious, those are neat things, being able to come in and plug into what they're doing to encourage them. The community health workers are people who live there and just love their neighbors, but they don't get paid a lick. And that to me is just dedication to loving on your people, because they know what their resources are. You think this is poor? Go to Belize. They're worse. You don't want to get sick in Belize. So the people there help to care for their own people. We get to go in and help care for them and help educate them on what's new. So one of our board members is also our medical director over in Belize, and she goes down to Belize 7-8 times a year. And she leads probably 80-something people doing medical missions over there. And the stories that she tells me is like, Mac, we give people glasses they can't see. We give people medicine that they can't afford. It's the small things that we take for granted that they get to have, that we get to bless them with. And then get them connected to the local church. That's the vision of what we're trying to do, is to help encourage them to get into the local church by way of the local schoolhouse, by way of putting in a concrete floor, by cleaning someone's yard. This means cleaning, sorry. Cleaning someone's yard with machetes, to putting in a fence post. It's small little acts of service, acts of kindness that really is where we're touching a lot of lives in Belize. That's the vision that we have for getting to the next level. And so one of the things I want you to take from all of this is, you did a good job so far this week. We've got one more day. Pray for your strength tomorrow. Lots of uphills both ways. And being able to say, you know what does God want me to do with my life? What is God's calling? I assure you, mine was not doing this, but yet here I am now talking to you about it. So God's sense of humor is pretty dang funny. And being able to just say yes to God. Because that is the most difficult thing that I have ever had to do in my life. And I believe it's one of the most difficult things that any of us can face. But maybe God's calling you to the 1040 window. Go. Maybe it's to Africa. Go. Maybe it's to Asia. Go. Maybe it's to Honduras with WGO. Come. Just go. Do it. That's what we want you to do. If you have a heart for battered women that are being sex trafficked, we don't do that, but I know someone who does. So if that means you going and serving the kingdom of God, because guess what? We as workers are few. Look around. We are few. The ministry world, the world of ministry is declining in the way of servers. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't do it back home. So what can we do back home in Missouri? How do we serve our local communities there? How do we be a light and a beacon to someone? Maybe setting up one of those free pantries of food for people to come by and grab. Those are small little acts of service and kindness that we can take right back to our home. We don't have to necessarily go. Maybe we just have to do. And so those are the things I want y'all to be able to take to heart, to be able to hold on to. It's like, okay, what does God want me to get from this mission trip? And it may be just, hey, man, loved it. It was cool. But maybe it was, hey, how do we help Crystal? How do we help lead a team? How do we help come back? How do we do things differently? Who do I know back home that would probably benefit from coming and serving on this trip? We may not take wine with our communion. That may be a Lutheran thing, but we can do grape juice. So let's not get off in the weeds. Let's just come and serve together. That's the whole point of this, is to serve and love and grow the kingdom of God. Let me show you a quick video on Belize, and then we can wrap this up. Oh my goodness.
World Gospel Outreach exists to impact the lives and faith of Christ followers from the U.S., Honduras, and Belize through serving and evangelizing the children and the most at risk in Central America. WGO has 3 different campuses located in Honduras and Belize. Rancho Benecer is our family-based children's home where displaced Honduran children receive care for basic needs, individual nurturing, treatment for emotional stress, preparation for a future as successful citizens, and an introduction to the love of Christ. The Mission House. This is where we host short-term mission trip serve teams that come to serve some of the most in need in Honduras in their own neighborhoods. The services these teams provide can include medical, optical, and dental care, construction, one-on-one evangelism, and providing clean water to those who don't have access to potable running water. Belize. WGO Belize has developed ongoing relationships with a number of partner churches in local communities. WGO Belize connects serve teams with a community partner to assist the church with a project or program the church is already working on. Any type of serve team is welcome to serve in Belize. Opportunities range from community outreach, VBS, Bible study, and construction to medical teams. Through all of these projects, WGO's main goal is to share the gospel of Jesus Christ and make disciples of the nations as commanded in Matthew 28:18. We would be honored to have you join us in serving at one of our campuses. For more information, please visit www.wgoreach.org.
So there are many ways to get plugged in to the work that we're doing here. I've got a vision brochure that I put together. I want you to take this with you. I don't want you to unfold it and completely redo it now. But on the inside, there's a little commitment card in here, but one of the things I want you to focus on is not the numbers. Yeah, we're a ministry that operates on donations. Y'all being here is part of the way that we help to do this. Sponsorship of our children's, another way. Coffee, another way. We have ways of getting plugged into the ministry. Coming and serving full time is another way. And so one of the things I want you to focus on, and Kirsten, if you could do this tonight, I want y'all to commit to praying for WGO. I already put a check mark there, but I also want you to put someone else's name on there. Someone that has touched your heart. Is it someone on the team? Was it someone out on outreach? Was it one of our translators? Doesn't matter. Someone that has impacted you to the point where you want to be able to commit to praying for them. I want you to write that name down. And I want you to take this back with you. And I want you to pray. And if something touches your heart, I want you to commit to doing something. If nothing else, pray, because that's what we're all called to do. And so these are really neat opportunities to get involved. Take this back with you. If you don't want to read it, that's fine. Give it to someone who does. And let's just grow the opportunities that we have. We need your help. I can't be in Missouri with you, but you can be my voice there.
So is Belize in area in Honduras, or is it?
Belize is another country that's just a little north of us. So you have right north of us is Guatemala. Right next to that on the Caribbean side is Belize. It's a little small country. So if you want to get a good observation, in this city right here, from what y'all saw at Picacho, y'all didn't do Picacho, did you? Y'all can just imagine this is a really big area. 1.6 million people inside of Tegucigalpa. But if y'all were to look at, there's a pine tree that's right out here. If y'all look at this pine tree and cut an imaginary line straight down it, y'all will be able to see this part of the country lit up. That's about 400,000 people by a small estimation. That's the same size as Belize. It's just like, oh my heavens, so it's a whole lot smaller. The service over there is a little more intimate. And you can drive for 2 or 3 hours and just see a handful of communities. Here, you drive for 2 or 3 hours and you've seen several million people. And so, just a little different in aspect. But I just want to encourage you to go back and do more. Follow God's calling on your life. Whatever you're doing is a wonderful thing as it is, but consider what else does God want you to do. If it's with us, great, wonderful, come on. If it's not, that's fine, just go and do it somewhere. But if these are ways that you feel that you can get connected to our ministry, we want to encourage you to come alongside us. Invite someone to come back on another trip. I'm hearing the stories going back to the church because hearing, going on mission trips is tough. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. And I hope that y'all have had a good one. I think we have so far. And being able to encourage someone else to say, hey, you know what? Serving can be fun. Serving can be an adventurous time. It can be a fruitful time. That's what this is all about, is how do we connect us as the North American church to the locals here in Honduras and Belize. You're doing it right now. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Guys, that's all I've got. I've got to get going here. And so if y'all have any other comments, questions, concerns, or smart aleck remarks, Josh. And so guys, thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. And any of those extras, if y'all don't want them, just place them right back up here. I'll get them tomorrow. So appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.